Bonjour à tous and welcome to this video. It's Saturday, so it's time for another episode of French for a Day. As a lot of you know, my French for a Day series are my little French corner on YouTube, where I love to celebrate my love for France and I talk about French beauty, fashion and lifestyle. And this time I decided to combine my French series with my Chanel Beauty Secret series because I wanted to talk about a makeup line that celebrates my favorite season, the summer. Today we're talking about Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line. Now it's one of my favorite French makeup brands, and since summer is just around the corner, I wanted to talk about the whole Les Beiges makeup line. I'm going to divide this video into different sections and I'm going to be talking about different products. I'm going to make sure to leave timestamps in the description box. And in the second part of the video, I'm going to create a makeup look using some of my favorite products from Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line. This is the look that I'm going to be creating. This is like my signature early summer makeup look. So let's go ahead and get started. If you're new here, a very special welcome. If you enjoy beauty talks, I would love to welcome you to our beauty community. And if you're returning, welcome back, dear friends. I know that a lot of you are huge fans of Chanel and you have incredible makeup collections. So I would love to hear from you. I would love to know what are your favorite products from Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line. Now, I've tried everything from Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line. I currently don't have every single product from the line, but at a certain point I've had them all. So I feel confident to talk about this whole makeup line. If you have any questions, please drop me a line and don't forget to share with me your favorite products or what is on your wish list. And before I start talking about the foundations, a few words about Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line. The whole idea behind Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line is to celebrate the summer months and to create this healthy looking skin, which is going to be a little bit more bronzed, a little bit healthy. And I love that you can create a lot of different looks. You can create daytime looks that look very natural, and you can go to an evening look and you can intensify the look. So it's all about creating this healthy glow that you have on vacation. Or let's say if you don't have the opportunity to go on vacation, the Les Beiges makeup line is the perfect line to recreate this very healthy looking skin, as if you've just been on a beach vacation. Well, who doesn't want that? Let me know what are your plans for the summer. Are you planning to go anywhere? I would love to know. I'm probably going to go to the French Riviera for a while, only for a week. Fingers crossed I'm going to be able to do that. And without further ado, let's go ahead and start with foundations from Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line. Since Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line celebrates the summer months, all of the foundations are water-based, and this makes them suitable for all skin types. They are very light in texture and they have different amount of coverage. I'm going to share with you each one of them. I'm going to insert footage also because I want to show you close-ups of the textures so that you can see for yourself and decide which one is going to work best for you. Now, in the past, we used to have the Les Beiges Sheer Healthy Glow Tinted Moisturizer SPF 30. This was the only one that was looking a little bit oily, and I believe that this was not a water-based foundation. It was a beautiful product, but Chanel decided to discontinue this one. Right now we have 3 foundations and base products from Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line. We have my favorite Les Beiges Water Fresh Tint. I'm looking at the foundations here. Currently we have the Les Beiges Water Fresh Tint, we have the Complexion Touch, and then the Healthy Glow Foundation. I'm going to share with you what are the differences. In some countries there is also a cushion foundation that is gel cushion foundation, but this one used to be available worldwide. 6-7 years ago it used to be available worldwide, and now it's only available at selected markets. You can't find it anywhere else. So I'm going to share with you quickly a review. I also have a full review of this Gel Touch Cushion foundation from Chanel. It was very good foundation, but for some reason I believe that probably it was not selling very well, and that's why they decided to keep it available only for selected markets. I believe it's available in Asia. So I want to start with one of my all-time favorite foundations, and this one is the Water Fresh Tint from Chanel. If you have been following me, you probably know about this product because I use it in so many videos, and this is my most repurchased complexion product. It is also the most unique complexion product that I've ever tried from any brand. A few brands A couple of brands, I believe, they tried to recreate this product and to create almost like a dupe to this product, but in my opinion, they were not successful. This is a water-based product and it contains 70% water. It is suitable for all skin types and it blends beautifully in the skin. It's suitable for all ages and all skin types. It just adds a lot of moisture to the skin and it almost works like a filter for the skin. This one does not emphasize pores, fine lines, and since it contains 70% water, it really helps to plump up the skin, and every time when I wear it, I feel like my skin gets this very youthful glow. The good thing about this product is that you can layer it if you need more coverage. I can safely apply 2 or even 3 layers. The trick here is just that once you apply the first layer, you have to let it dry on your skin and then go in with the second layer if you feel like you need a little bit more coverage. If you only apply 1 layer, it works like a beautiful filter. It just blurs pores, imperfections slightly, and it looks exactly like skin, and nobody's going to know that you're wearing foundation. That's why this is my favorite product and my most repurchased complexion product. The one that I have contains 30 ml of product, which is the standard amount of foundation, which is 1 fluid ounce. And this year Chanel released a travel size limited edition of this product, which is half the size of this one. I decided to skip it because I use this product a lot, and for me it doesn't make sense to purchase the travel size. But if you have never tried this product and if you have been wondering, or if you are in between 2 shades of this product, you can safely buy the travel size and just use it to mix with other foundations, or just if you want to try the foundation. The travel size is half the size of this product. This product can be applied very successfully with fingertips or with brushes. I personally think that with fingertips, I know that some people prefer to apply this with fingertips so that they don't waste product by blending it with a brush. But I personally prefer to use a brush because it gives me a more flawless finish. If you use your fingertips, it takes a little bit longer to blend it, but you're going to get a little bit higher coverage and you're going to use less product. But my favorite way to use it, with a brush. Next comes another product, and this is the Les Beiges Water Fresh Complexion Touch. Now, Chanel created this product because a lot of people loved the Water Fresh tint from Chanel, but they wanted a little bit more coverage. For a lot of people, this was not enough and they would use it only like a primer. You could use this one as a primer, by the way. It works beautifully as a primer, but not your traditional primer. It is not going to make your foundation more long-lasting. It's just going to give you this additional blurring effect, and then you can apply a glowy foundation on top and it looks beautiful. So Chanel created the Les Beiges Water Fresh Complexion Touch as a product that you can use on the go, as a product that can be used also as a concealer. Again, this is a water-based product, but this time this contains 60% water, so it has higher coverage. Chanel's Water Fresh tint has light coverage. 1 layer of the complexion touch is going to give you a nice medium coverage, so you don't need to build this up, but it works beautifully under the eyes. When I use this one, I don't need to use some concealer, or you can combine those two, use this one all over the face and then the complexion touch for as a concealer. These two work beautifully applied under the eyes because these are water-based products, and especially if you're suffering from crow's feet, or if you have some fine lines under the eyes, these help to keep the skin under the eyes very well hydrated, very well moisturized. So I find that they work beautifully as concealers. Again, the complexion touch is completely invisible on the skin, but here I would say you have to match with your skin tone, because this is a medium coverage foundation and this one is more forgiving. Like, even if the shade is not a perfect match, it's very transparent, it has a light coverage, so you can get away even if you don't have the right shade. With this one, you need to choose your right shade, because since it has medium coverage, it is going to be visible. But I love this product. I would suggest you to use this product if you have more redness, discoloration, or if you have more that you would like to cover, and to use this one for every day, or if you generally feel confident with your skin. I like them both. Next, we are moving on to CHANEL's Les Beiges Healthy Glow Foundation. This product is a classic foundation. The Complexion Touch and the Water Fresh tint contain this micro droplet technology, which is a very innovative technology. I haven't seen other brands doing it successfully, this technology. And the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Foundation, this one is a classic foundation. You're going to see on the swatch, it is liquidy, but it's not too liquidy. It has a very light consistency. Again, this is a water-based foundation, so it's not going to add oil to your skin, and it's going to be suitable for all skin types. It's very suitable for all seasons. It applies beautifully on top of skincare or on top of SPF. Now, one issue that some people might have with these two products is applying SPF during the summer. These two do not work with all SPFs, with all sunscreens, so I usually prefer to use them with sunscreen on top of sunscreen that has a gel-like texture, like let's say the Eucerin Oil Control SPF 50. This one disappears completely into the skin, so I can safely apply this product on top. Or the other one is the Estee Lauder Perfectionist Pro SPF 50. Again, it works beautifully with this product, but if you're applying the SPF, you will have to wait until the SPF is fully absorbed into your skin before you can go in and apply these two products, because they contain a lot of water. And if you want to quickly apply the SPF and then go in directly with this product, especially with the Water Fresh Touch, with the Water Fresh tint, directly on top of your SPF, you might not get the best result. So you have to wait until your sunblock is fully absorbed into your skin before applying this product. This one is a classic foundation, so it works beautifully with most sunscreens and with most sunblocks. It has a light coverage, I would say, and it can be built up to a medium coverage. It's a beautiful foundation. It doesn't emphasize pores, fine lines. This is one of my favorite foundations, and I love using it all year round, but especially in the summer months, because it only adds water to the skin. So it feels great, and it works for all ages and for all skin types. And then a few words about the Gel Touch Cushion Foundation. Again, this one was from CHANEL's Les Beiges makeup line. It contains SPF 25. I believe that this is the only foundation from CHANEL's Les Beiges makeup line that contains SPF. It used to have a very pleasant texture. I don't have this foundation anymore because it's not available in Europe, or in most European countries you cannot find it. And it is a very pleasant, very refreshing foundation. It has almost a glossy finish, and it gives you this glass skin effect. The finish is very similar to the finish of the Water Fresh tint, but it has a higher coverage, much higher coverage. It's great to be used on the go. But I think that the reason why they decided to pull it out from most countries is because it was not selling that well, because I have noticed that it was quite expensive, because I would run out very quickly and I was not really able to get the last bit of the foundation, because it has a squishy mesh, and that's how the product comes out. So this is something that probably affected the way this foundation is selling. I'm not really sure what is the reason. I used to love this foundation, and maybe they will bring it back at some point. Now we're moving on to the iconic cream bronzers. I've used and I've loved CHANEL's cream bronzers for years, and this was the standard size of the cream bronzer from CHANEL, and this year they decided to release a travel size bronzers. But before I talk about the bronzing creams, I wanted to mention a new product that CHANEL released this year, and this is the Healthy Glow Cream in Rosy Beige. This is a beautiful product. It is supposed to be used as a primer before you apply your foundation. And I've already reviewed this product. In case you're interested and you want to see a more detailed review on this product, I'm going to make sure to link my video in the description box. It is a beautiful product. It is supposed to be used as a primer. It is not your typical primer, because I don't think that it really affects the longevity of my foundation, but it definitely gives me this very light blurring effect. The texture is a little bit lighter than the texture of the cream bronzers. And it has a beautiful rosy beige color. I like to apply this one all over my face, and I find that it just helps to smooth imperfections a little bit and gives you this even base. I like to use this one alone on its own, and most of the days I wouldn't even use foundation on top of this one because it blurs a little bit imperfections and it blurs pores. This is the reason why I love it so much. It can be applied with fingers, but I prefer to apply it with a brush because it gives me a more flawless application. It has the same scent as the cream bronzers, which I would say that it's very light, very pleasant scent. The whole Beige makeup line has a very light floral scent that is not bothering me. The Water Fresh tint does not contain fragrance, and then the Complexion Touch again does not contain fragrance. Unfortunately, the Healthy Glow Cream for now is available only to certain markets. It's not available worldwide. For now, it's only available in Canada, Australia, and Asia. I hope that they're going to release it, but for now, the information that I have is that this is a limited edition product. And now we're moving on to the cream bronzers. Now, the cream bronzers have the most beautiful, almost like a gel cream texture. They can be applied with fingertips or with a brush. They can be applied on top of foundation, under foundation, or alone without foundation. It is a product that I love and I have been using for years. Now, the regular size bronzers were reformulated a few years ago and they added coconut oil. And this is something that a lot of people did not like about the bronzers. This year, Chanel decided to release a lot of travel size products for their Les Beiges makeup collection for Les Beiges 2023, and they released this same travel size bronzers in a travel size packaging, and they removed the coconut oil. I have reviewed these two and I compared them. The colors are very similar. You're not going to see a difference. Probably you can see a little bit of a difference when I swatch them on my arm, but I don't see much of a difference. Now, the bronzers that I have are in 392 Soleil Tan Medium Bronze. Even though this is not the palest shade and it's the medium shade, it works very well even for my pale skin because these are very blendable. If you want, you can go a shade deeper or a shade paler. They blend beautifully into the skin with a brush, with fingers. I often use them with fingers. I find that it's a great idea to have this kind of a travel size bronzer because you can easily put this one in your handbag and you can use it on the go. I like the texture of the new bronzers. Now, having used the travel size bronzer for, I believe, a couple of weeks now, probably the main difference that I find between these two is that this one is a little bit lighter in terms of texture and maybe it blends. I can't really say that there is much of a difference, to be honest, because they look the same and I've worn them on each side. I don't see much of a difference, but probably if I think really hard what would be the difference, this one is just a little bit lighter in terms of texture. You're probably going to notice this one on the swatch as well, but it doesn't really affect the overall performance of the bronzer. Now, the thing is that this one is a bit more expensive because it is half the size of the regular size bronzer and it's not that much cheaper, but as we all know, with travel size products they usually come quite pricey, so it's all up to you to decide which one. But for now, the information that I have is that the travel size bronzers are going to be limited edition. We're moving on to powders, and for powders, we have two compact powders from Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line. Both of them are absolutely gorgeous and I've had them for years and I have been repurchasing them over the years. So the two powders that we have, one is completely matte, it's very light, and the other one has a luminous color and adds some luminosity. Currently, I don't have the matte version. One thing that you have to keep in mind is that the iconic matte powder from Les Beiges, a lot of people like to use it instead of a bronzer because it is the most natural looking bronzer that you could possibly imagine. The powder itself is very finely milled. It looks completely invisible on the skin. It doesn't give you a matte effect, but it doesn't give you a glowy effect. It is just like a veil, a blurring veil. And one thing that you have to know is that the shades are deeper than the shades of the foundation because the whole idea here is to create this healthy looking skin. So let's say if you're wearing Chanel's foundation in number B10, the Healthy Glow powder in the shade 10 is going to be darker than the foundation. And then if you choose 20, it's going to be a shade darker than the foundation shade in B20. So let's say if you want to completely match your skin tone, then if you're wearing a foundation in B20, you have to purchase a powder that is B10 if you want it to match your skin tone. But this is not the idea of these powders. The whole idea is to create this healthy looking skin as if you have been outside, and that's why they come in a shade darker, because they are not going to really darken your skin a lot, but they're going to look as if you've been just outside. You look very healthy. And then moving on to the powder that I currently have now, I have to repurchase the Les Beiges powders. I always purchase one, and to be honest, I usually would purchase even B20 in the Healthy Glow powders because I use it for even to add a little bit more color, and I like to use them as bronzers. Now moving on to the powder that I currently have, and this is the Les Beiges Healthy Glow Luminous Color. The difference here is that this powder is going to add luminosity to the skin. It doesn't have reflective particles, but it almost highlights the skin. You're probably going to be able to see now on my fingers as I do a heavy swatch on my fingers. You're probably going to be able to see this luminosity. This is very beautiful. The shade that I have and the shade that I like to use is medium light because I can use it on my cheeks. And if you want to see how this looks on my cheeks, it's in my first episode of Chanel Beauty Secrets. I used it as a blush. And if you get the light shade, you can get it all over your face, but my preferred way to use this powder is just to use it almost like a blush or on top of my blush, because it gives me this very ethereal illuminated glow on the face without looking like a highlighter, but just it gives me a very beautiful, healthy looking skin. Moving on to blushes, and currently Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line features the Les Beiges Water Fresh blushes. These blushes are water-based and they have the same micro droplet technology as the Water Fresh tint from Chanel. Now, a lot of people have mixed feelings about these blushes. I personally love them. The trick here is to break the pigment on the back of your hand before applying them on your face. A lot of people would like to use them with their fingertips. I would say that these blushes do not work when applied with fingertips. You have to use a brush to be able to apply the color, and you have to break the pigment before applying it to the face. The reason why I love these blushes so much is because they add a very natural glow to the face. You basically don't need a highlighter and they look beautiful. They can be used alone without foundation just to brighten the complexion and to add a touch of freshness, or they can be applied on top of foundation. You can even apply them during the day on top of powder just to refresh your face. This is the main reason why I love them so much. The only downside is that you have to carry a brush if you want to apply them on the go, and you have to apply them with a brush to get the best results. And another tip that I have for you, the two colors that work for me are light pink and light peach. Now you have to take into consideration your skin tone, and you have to choose a color that is close to your skin tone, otherwise they don't look that flattering. So usually they look the most flattering if you choose a color that is close to your skin tone. In my case, these are going to be light peach, light pink and warm pink. These are the colors that work on my complexion. Next, I wanted to mention the discontinued blushes. Chanel used to have Les Beiges blush sticks, which I used to love. I had a few of those and they have great consistency. They are gorgeous to be used on the go. They come in this sleek packaging. These are the highlighters. They have the same packaging, but the blushes come in the same packaging. I currently don't have from the blushes because lately I think that they have been discontinued in Europe, or at least Chanel's retailers don't have them in stock in European countries. I believe that in some places in the US you can still find those. They are great. This was one of my go-to favorite products because these are very convenient just to put it in your handbag and to use it on the go to add a little bit of freshness to the face. And they used to look very natural. They were long-lasting and they don't emphasize pores, fine lines. All of the colors were beautiful. Next, we're moving on to the liquid highlighters. So I currently don't have a liquid highlighter from Chanel, but I love the consistency because it is a liquid highlighter very similar to the Gucci liquid highlighter that I showed in one of my previous videos. And these highlighters can be applied under your foundation, on top of foundation, or can be mixed with your foundation. These are beautiful highlighters. I used to have the paler one, but I decluttered it because this is a liquid product and I think that you can only use it for about a year, like all liquid products. Next, we're moving on to the eyeshadow palettes. Chanel currently have 6 eyeshadow palettes that are part of the Les Beiges makeup line. I currently have only 2 of them, Tender and Intense. The formulation here is different. At a certain point, I had all of the eyeshadow palettes except for Deep. I never had the Deep palette, but Light, Medium, and Warm have more firmly pressed powders and the pigment is more subtle compared to Intense and Tender. Intense and Tender have the most pigment and the colors are the softest and you're going to get the most color payoff. That's the reason why these two also are my favorites. But I used to love Light and also Medium and Warm. These are beautiful palettes. They just have a little bit more subtle color and you don't get the same amount of softness. The powders are a little bit more firmly pressed and they don't give the same amount of pigment as Tender and Intense. I cannot say which one is my favorite. The only one that I didn't have is Deep. Light, Medium, and Warm are very beautiful, very subtle, and I would say that they are mostly suitable for everyday. With Medium, you can actually build up the colors and create an evening look as well. And Tender and Intense, you can absolutely use them for a daytime look and for an evening look. They blend beautifully together, and the reason why I love Tender and Intense so much, and these are the 2 that I currently keep, is because they work very well together. I usually like to mix the 2 because Tender is a little bit more pinkish and Intense is like my favorite summer color, because if you like this kind of coppery shades, brown copper shades, Intense is a beautiful palette. I would say that if you have blue eyes, Intense is the eyeshadow palette that is going to emphasize your blue eyes. Overall, the 2 palettes work for all eye colors, but it's just that if you have blue eyes, Intense is going to emphasize that a lot. And then we're moving on to the Les Beiges Illuminating oil. Currently I have the oversized oil, which was from last year, and this year Chanel released the same oil in a travel size packaging. Now last year I couldn't go on a vacation, so I barely used any of this oil. I only used it a little bit on my face and in the ends of my hair. It looks beautiful, but I think that this is the perfect product for a summer vacation, or if you're spending a lot of time outside in the summer. It looks beautiful on the legs, on the shoulders, and on the arms. This is a beautiful product. It has the signature for the Les Beiges line fragrance. It's very light, very inoffensive. It's a very light floral fragrance, a little bit similar to the Hydra Beauty line from Chanel, but much lighter, much softer. It's a very pleasant product, and this is a dry oil, so it can be used on the face, on the body, and in the hair. Of course, this is an oil, so if you're applying this one in the hair, make sure to not apply it very close to the roots of the hair, because it might make your hair greasy a little bit faster, but it looks fabulous on the legs and on the arms. And this is a dry oil, so it doesn't make the skin oily. Next, we're moving on to one of the most beautiful and elegant fragrances created by the house of Chanel, and this is Beige. This is one of my personal favorites. I used to have this one in the past, and at some point I know that I'm going to repurchase this fragrance. This perfume is very elegant. It's a light floral fragrance with very soft honey notes. It has flowers and honey, and it gives the skin a very soft scent. It always reminds me a very elegant lady. walking on the streets of Paris. The notes that Chanel lists for this perfume are frangipani, freesia, honey. I can definitely feel the honey. I would describe this fragrance as a soft white floral perfume with honey notes. It's very elegant. This perfume couldn't get more elegant, more sophisticated. It is a ladylike perfume. I would say that it's suitable for all occasions. And this is the one Chanel perfume that probably gets me the most compliments. Initially, when you first spray this fragrance, you might think, well, it's nothing that special. It's just your typical elegant, sophisticated, safe kind of blind buy fragrance. But then once it develops on the skin, it is the Chanel perfume that gets me the most compliments. It somehow develops as a very beautiful, very sophisticated perfume that for some reason everyone wants to smell and everyone wants to be closer to you. Or at least that's what happens with me when I'm wearing this perfume. I get compliments both from men and from women when I'm wearing this perfume. So it's one of the most beautiful creations from Chanel. And that was all for Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line. Currently, I see that this year Chanel are promoting also for their summer collection, and almost like as part of the Les Beiges line, at least in Europe, I'm seeing that they promote the Ombre Premiere in Rose Quartz. This is my favorite color from their mono eyeshadows, liquid eyeshadows. And this is a beautiful one and done eye color. It all depends. It's one of the products that I love to use. This one is old and I cannot use it on my eyes anymore, but I saw that I have it and that's why I wanted to show you a swatch. It is a beautiful rosy color that looks great on the eyelids on its own, alone. Now, the way I like to apply this color is I like to blend it with a brush. I like to apply a little bit with the doe foot applicator. And I like to apply a little bit of color all over my eyelid, and then I'm using a brush to blend the color. This is how this product works for me. And you have to look down so that it doesn't, until it dries, so that it doesn't crease. I like it. It's not the favorite product of many people. Some people love it, some people don't like it. I have seen mixed reviews of this product. I personally like it. And then the other product that I see them currently promoting is the Rouge Coco Balm in 928. This was part of Chanel's Délice Pastel collection. It is a beautiful balm. I like it. The best way to describe this color is My Lips But Better, because it's like a nice nude pinkish color with a little bit of peach, a little bit of beige. It all depends on your skin tone and on your undertones. Let me go ahead and show you a swatch here quickly. It looks very natural on the skin and I really like using it for everyday, just like it's a very effortless product, but it's not oily on the lips. It is not as emollient, as oily as your typical lip balm. So it just makes the lips look healthy with a tiny bit of sheen, but not glossy. I'm going to start by applying Chanel's Hydra Beauty Micro Serum, and this used to be my favorite serum when I was in my 20s. It's very hydrating and it's very suitable for the summer months, and you're going to like it probably if your only concern is hydration and adding moisture to your skin. It usually plumps up the skin a little bit and helps to plump up those fine lines. It's a very pleasant texture. Then I'm moving on to my eye care, and for now I'm using the new Hydra Beauty Micro Cream for Eyes. This is a new product from Chanel and it has this micro droplet technology. It is the same technology that we see in the Hydra Beauty Micro Cream for Face. This one has, it's not completely a matte cream, but it has a very tiny, it's a little bit illuminating. You are probably not going to see this on camera because the effect is very subtle. Today I'm not going to be using SPF because it is the late afternoon and it's almost sunset, so I don't need an SPF. But if it was the morning and if I was spending the day outside, I was definitely going to wear SPF. Now you should wear SPF preferably if you have long windows and if you're close to windows, even if you are at home, because the sun rays can penetrate through windows as well. Next, I want to apply Chanel Les Beiges Healthy Glow Cream in Rosy Beige. This works as a makeup base. I'm going to be using a Charlotte Tilbury brush, which fits very nicely here. I'm just going to apply this as a primer. I wouldn't say that it affects the longevity of my foundation. It just gives me a little bit of a blurring effect. Next, I'm moving on to Chanel's Water Fresh Complexion Touch. I use this one in the shade B10. This is going to be a little bit pale for me in the summer months, but it still works because I have to match my face with my neck. And I like this product because it gives me a very perfected look, and I don't have to use concealer. It's just an all-in-one product. This product gives a medium coverage. I currently don't have a Chanel brow product, and that's why I'm using my favorite by Floris's. Next, I'm moving on to bronzer. I'm going to be using the new travel size bronzer, and this one is in 392. It is my preferred shade. I usually like to apply this one with my fingers, but you can use a brush if you want to. I would usually just use my fingertips. Then for blush, I'm going to be using one of my favorite Water Fresh blushes. I'm choosing the shade Light Peach because I'm wearing an orangey top today. And I think that this shade looks beautiful in the summer months. And a little bit on my nose. Sometimes I like to use the Water Fresh blush alone, even if I'm not wearing foundation, because it blends beautifully into the skin. It gives a very nice, healthy glow to the skin. And then we're moving on to eyes. I'm going to be using first the Tender eyeshadow palette. This is my favorite color here. I love it as one and done eye color. And I'm going to apply this one all over my eyelid. I really like this. Really like this eyeshadow palette. I'm using my favorite Chanel eyeshadow brush. This one is double-ended, so it's very convenient for traveling. I usually like to use this color all over my eyelid. And then I like to use a little bit of the topper shade on top, because once the sunlight hits my eyes, it looks very beautiful. I always use the topper shade with my fingers. Then I'm going to use my favorite Stylo Ombre et Contour in number 04. I like to use this product as an eyeliner, but you can use it as eyeshadow all over the eyelid if you want to. I'm using the deepest shade of Intense to smudge the eyeliner. And I'm just using actually a brush that comes with another eyeliner from Chanel. This is one of my favorites, and this is, I believe it was called Brun Cuivré, but I'm not sure. I'm going to make sure to list it in the description box because it's almost finishing. This has been my favorite for a long time. I want to use a little bit of this bronzy brown color only on the outer part of my eyelids, close to the crease. And I'm going over the eyeliner. I don't want this color to be very visible, I just want it to add a little bit of shadow. These two eyeshadow palettes are my favorite because this one, the Tender, is a little bit more pinkish, and this one is golden brown, and the colors blend beautifully together, and you can use them together. You can mix and match the colors. They work beautifully alone, but you can also mix them if you want to. Again, I'm just going to blend. And usually when you curl your eyelashes, you can very easily apply color in the crease, especially if your eyes are a little bit more hooded. Usually the end of your lashes can serve you as a guideline where the eyeshadow should stop. And now I don't have a Chanel mascara. I'm going to be using an affordable mascara. This is one of my favorite mascaras. It's by Maybelline. For my lips today, I'm choosing one of my favorite summer shades. This is Rouge Cocoa Bloom in number 122 Zenith. This is a beautiful, almost like a peachy coral shade. I want to show you a swatch. It is almost like a peachy pink color, but with a little bit of coral. It's lovely for this time of the year. And then this is going to be my finished look. I'm going to add a little bit of the Les Beiges Illuminating oil. This year they released this same oil in a travel size bottle, in a small bottle. I still have the old one from last year when Chanel were celebrating a summer in grand style. Unfortunately, I couldn't go to a summer vacation last year, so I have a full bottle of this one. I barely used it. I only used it here and there, mostly on my face, to illuminate my face. But I'm planning to using this one this year because on the bottle it says that it can be used for 18 months. So I am going to apply this one on my shoulders and then just lightly tap on my face. So that was all for today's video. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I truly appreciate it. And don't forget to let me know what are your favorite products from Chanel's Les Beiges makeup line, or what are some products that are on your wish list and you would love to try. I can't wait to read your comments. And thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video once again. Until next time, bye!